Hey guys, what is going on? Eric here, or U-Rounder, and today I have deep dive analysis video number 6, and we are going to start looking at some hands from the small blinds perspective. The last few hands we've looked at from the cutoff point of view in this 3-bet situation where the cutoff opens, the small blind 3-bets, and the cutoff calls. And I first want to thank everybody who's been leaving comments. Definitely keep it up. I appreciate seeing the comments and questions. I will get to some more answering the comments probably today. I'll go through and try to answer all the comments that have been posted in this whole playlist, this whole series. But thank you guys. I really appreciate the comments. And here we go. I've got my tomato timer up, and this video is going to be under 25 minutes. Go. So we can see our timer up here. All right, so this video is going to be on the King of Clubs, Jack of Clubs, 8 of Hearts flop. As you can see, I've put in the basic information, and we have our ranges for the small blind, for the cutoff, and the percentages. Again, we're sort of in a hole as the cutoff in this spot, according to Poker Snowy's ranges. And what I wanted to do is show you guys. I promise I haven't done this, not that it matters one way or the other. My answer will probably be off, but before, I wanted to show you guys that I am, when I do these, I've actually knocked out already 2 full solutions today. Not full, but just what I'm doing right here. I've already done 2 of them today. This is the 3rd one of the day, and I am trying to sort of note what I think the equities will do after the flop. So after the King Jack 8 flop, I am almost certain that our equity is going to go up as the small blind. The only time, and if we look at these 2 ranges, we're the small blind here, cutoffs here, the only time our equity really goes down is on like 8 or 9, maybe a 10 high board. Those are the boards that are rough for us, obviously, because our opponent has all of his pocket pairs and some suited connectors, and we don't have any of that stuff in our range. So I'm going to predict that our equity goes up to 57%. That's really only like 1 point more, but we're already pretty far ahead. So maybe I don't know. So if we're at like 56%, let's say it goes up 3 points. I mean, it's going to be pretty significant, actually, if we look at the range. And even just thinking about it, like our 3-betting range on this board has pretty much everything. And our opponent, isn't going to have aces and kings. So let's say 60%. Let's say we'll go up to 60% equity. And let's see what happens. So King, Jack, 8, and 61.8. So a little off. I was right that it went up, but not quite. 61.8%. And we are going to make that green. Hopefully audio and everything sounds good. 38.2% for the cutoff. 38.2%. And yeah, so, maybe, I would prefer to talk to a coach or something before I go and, accuse Snowy's ranges of being wrong. But, once I've gone through like 3 or 4 hands from the cutoffs position, 3 or 4 hands from the small blinds position, the 9, I think I did like a 9-7-5 flop, and that really favored the cutoff. But other than that, the small blind's in pretty good shape here. Maybe the small blind is just going to fold so much that the cutoff still is okay opening and calling. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much because we got a timer to worry about. There's our ranges. Again, here is our equity matrix. So we can kind of see very quickly our 3-bet range is pretty good, pretty polarized. We've got some medium strength hands here. These 50% equity hands generally make pretty good checkbacks. Under 50% with a little bit of value. Those 6s look like they're probably going to be a bet. And just kind of thinking about my overall strategy here. We got ace king, kings, king queen. So overall, we have tons of hands we can bet with. And what we need to do is be careful and, leave this isn't the right GTO way to think about it, but leave our opponent some opportunities to make mistakes. You know, give him the chance to maybe barrel off, you know, some bluffs if he doesn't realize how strong our range is. And again, I know that I'm kind of talking outside of GTO here, but I don't think we need to go crazy betting like, you know, 100% on this flop, even though we clearly could profitably. I think that we don't, you know, the board's pretty connected, so we've got to be careful. We're definitely going to bet a fair amount, but, you know, we probably can check back a few really strong hands, especially, again, flipping over to the other side, especially if we think maybe our opponent's capable of, you know, overbetting a turn if we like check call on this board with a set of kings or something like that. So that's just some initial things that I'm thinking about. And let's start building our ranges. So considerations, obviously the hand, you know, we are super strong. I feel like I write the same thing. I write whether or not we're strong, whether or not we're weak, and then what I think it does for our betting range. So strong and need to try to check back a balanced range. If we just bet 100%, our opponent can play pretty straightforward. So we do want to have a checking range on this flop, and we do want that range to include a few strong hands. I think I tend to see these flops and be like, oh, we just want to bet everything strong. But we also probably have some check raises that we want to do on this flop. So, you know, there's definitely some strong check raises that we want to have on this flop. As well as, you know, just some hands that we can check and call a couple streets with. All right, so strong bets. Right away, we want to look at... I really like having this equity matrix up. I mean, it makes it so easy. It's kind of cheating, but that's okay. So our strong betting range, we definitely are going to want to be betting hands like... king, queen, pocket eights, pocket jacks. Those are hands that we really don't want to see get checked through. So let's go eights, jacks. Do we have any jack eight? No, we have, you know, 9-10 is obviously a pretty strong hand. We could also raise, you know, plan on check raising that, but our opponent shouldn't really be betting a ton on this flop because we have him so crushed. He should be checking back a fair amount. So we probably want to bet hands like, you know, 10-9, 10-9 suited. So those are usually going to be bet. And I've gotten into the habit of what I do is I sort of fill these in as I think of where they go. And if I type them all out as I think of them, instead of trying to, like, I still use all these tools, but typing them out helps me really know where we're at and understand the range better. Again, some checkbacks, you know, some easy checkbacks. Sometimes that's easier to do. So that's going to be our middle pairs, our pairs of jacks, like like queen jack suited, 10 jack suited. You know, and those are pretty safe, like checkbacks. We've also got, you know, draws with those. We were going to want to check back our pocket tens, our pocket nines, probably. There's really nothing that's going to, you know, we can look at really quick and see that nothing is going to fold that has significant equity against us. You know, if they have two overcards above pocket nines and pocket tens, you know, they've got draws that they're going to call with regardless. So we're really not... you know, we can get value from some overcards and stuff like that, but we're not getting better hands or hands with high equity to fold against us, and we're not really getting value from anything with, you know, they're not going to call in a 3-bet pot with 7s and 6s most likely. So I think 10s and 9s are like the easy checkbacks. We've got these like really weak suited connectors, which, you know, obviously 4 of those combinations are clubs along with ace 9. So we've got 5 nut flush draws right there. Plus we've got ace queen, which is, you know, like no pair, obviously. Hand that we probably, I mean, can do anything with it. It's a pretty strong hand. We could probably check raise some of them, check call, bet, whatever. Again, we got to think about why we're betting. So like a hand like ace queen of clubs, obviously we're betting because, you know, for a few reasons. We can get like his, you know, 2s through 7s to fold, and then we can build a big pot if we hit a big hand on the turn or river. So like there's definitely some good reasons to bet with ace queen, and that's something to think about. So let's go ahead and talk about some other strong hands, and I'm going to start. Grab this. So we've got all 3 sets. Eights and jacks we already talked about. We definitely want to bet. I'm going to say we can probably check back our kings, since that really kind of crushes the board, and there's just a lot of stuff. Like even if he does have a lot of hands that can call, when we have kings, we block, you know, all of his kings. And, you know, ace 10, ace queen, he doesn't, you know, he has a few of those, right? He's got some like aces. A few of these have straight draws. His other ace queen obviously has a gutter, but like nothing that strong, like some queen jack, some queen 10 that's obviously not going anywhere. Jack 10's not going anywhere, but like all this stuff down here, we're not getting much out of, and that's a big chunk of his range. And yeah, I'm just going to put that in the checking range for now, and we'll see what happens. Again, this is sort of one of those spots where I'm not really sure what the answer is. I'm going to build the range out, and then we'll take a look and see what we think. But in general, I'm probably going to be betting not too often here. You know, I'll try to bet in the range of like, you know, 50%, something like that in this 3-bet pot. Again, we've got the board pretty crushed, so we don't have to be super aggressive, and we can let our opponent make some mistakes by checking. Okay, 13 minutes left. Let's go. Okay, so we've got our, you know, our nut flush draws. Those are obviously easy bets. Let's just go ahead and bet like the ace 5, like the, you know, the baby ones. And, you know, queen 10 is like a monster draw. We can do anything with that. 10-9 is a monster draw. We can do anything with that. So like we can bet all those, but like they're so strong. Let's go ahead and put those in our bluffs for now. Here we go. Flush draw. Filter those, and I'm gonna just grab those out of the Hold'em EQ, and we'll put those all here for right now. But the ones that I definitely want to check back, I think, are the ones that block, like the ace queen, ace 10, and queen 10. Like they're just so monster that I don't really want to bet, and 10-9. So these 4: ace queen, ace 10, queen 10, ace 10, ace queen, ace 10. So we'll copy those, we'll put those in our check back range. Ace queen, ace 10, and queen 10, and 9-10. So we'll put all those in our check back range, because they're really strong, and I don't think we accomplish much other than building a big pot. But we can build a big pot with hands that don't win as often. Like, you know, we can still build a pot with our nut flush draws that leave a few more like draws. You know, if he's got queen 10, then ace 5 blocks, you know, one of his outs to the straight, and it also allows him to have like the second nut flush. Whereas if we're betting queen 10 ourselves, like, you know, he can have the ace of clubs. So we're you know, that's like an all-in bound to happen that we're not going to win. Whereas if we keep all these in our betting range, which is going to build the pot up bigger, we win when the flush gets there and he has the, you know, second to worst hand. I hope that makes sense. So we need a few more like strong hands. Again, like these are pretty strong hands, so we don't need, maybe like if we're going to have these in here, we can have like a, you know, a few more bluffs. So what do we want for bluffs? Our gut shots, again, are like pretty strong. We can probably bet our like no flush gut shots. Some of those would make decent bets because they are not as good. Let's put our, sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place a little bit. Let's put our top pair hands in. I think most of our top pair we want to bet. If we're checking back a hand like kings, then we can bet our like ace king and things like that. So ace king suited, ace king offsuit. We have king queen suited, king queen offsuit, and king 10 suited. Again, I want to go quick because I want to make this a pretty quick video, just because these have all been really long. But I would probably break this out and like put the clubs in one range and the some of the other hands in another range, right? Oh, sorry, we can't have the king of clubs, so never mind. Disregard that. So those are good top pair hands. We've got a bunch of combos of those. So let's see what we're looking at right now with this. I also have this cool, I open a third, oh, where'd it go? Right here. I open a third window and put in the range here in this other Flopzilla just for card combination counting. It doesn't work perfectly for everything I try to do with it, but it's pretty good for the most part. So like we'll easily be able to see that this is 33 combos. And that's going to be pretty good because we've got, oops, I forgot to say how many combinations total we have, but I think it's probably going to be like 140 something. 141, there we go. 141 and 157. 157. So if we know we want to bet like, around 50%, we only need 70 combos. So if we only need 70 and we've already got 33, that means that we are in pretty good shape. So we need to add some more bluffs. That's not going to be hard. I also want to add in 6s and 7s. Those are good bets here. 6-6 and 7-7. I already talked about those earlier in the video when I was looking at the equity matrix. 8 minutes left. Come on, let's go. Boop. I just want to count combinations, so I'm going to use this one. That's 21 combinations. 21. We need more like I don't know, like 50, or maybe, like 50, which is too many. No, 50 and 30 would be like 80, so that would be okay. So another like 30 combinations, and you guys may see some that work. I think open-ended straight draws are like already pretty obvious. Gut shots, like ace queen off. Like we can put our 12 ace queen off and our non-suited ace queens. Did I already mention that? So let's grab, so here's a cool thing. So we'll grab gut shots. We'll filter for gut shots. We'll grab all the gut shots. We will put those in here. And then we will, for the suited, we'll grab like hearts, diamonds, and spades. Apply that to the suited guys. And that is it. Then this is like one annoying thing that you can do. It doesn't work great. Whoops. Why isn't it seeing ace 10? It's just seeing ace queen. Hold on. Hold on. Clear. Okay. And I just want everything other than the clubs. There we go. Copy that out of here. And we can put this over here. So some of our weaker gut shots that like aren't as great. Again, we're not getting a lot to fold there, so I'm not sure. Like those are like nut no pair, so I don't know if those really belong in our range. And then once you're done, you just clear this range out. I don't know if that's the most effective way to do that, but it's one way that I found works. So that added a few combinations of gut shots. And then we've got our 2-card backdoor flush draws. So those are definitely worth adding in. And as far as like which ones, obviously we have top pair, which I think we're checking back most of our. No, we're probably betting most of our top pair. Where do we put those? Yeah, we're betting all those. So those are already in there. Yeah, a hand like ace, ace 5 through ace 2 with the hearts, we could throw into a betting range just because, they block some of his outs. Again, we're not getting that much to fold that's worse though. Like, we can probably, we probably got enough hands that we don't need to do that. Tens and nines we already have in our sort of check back range. And then we have pocket kings. So how many combos is this? I mean, getting more bluffs isn't terribly challenging, right? Obviously. That's 39. So that's 39 combinations and 33. And like, I don't like to go for, in my other videos, I was going a lot like starting with, what percentage I want to bet. But if I look at which hands I really want to bet and which hands I want to check back for value, and then do my bluffs according to that, I think I get better answers. So maybe we need to check back a few strong hands, and we're just not going to bet as often because we're a little value heavy here. If we do this, because so many of these draws are really strong and we've only got, we probably want like 2 to 1. So I think the easiest thing here is to like maybe check back some good combo, some pair plus like combo draw stuff. Maybe like we've got all king queen suited here, so maybe like king queen of hearts. I don't know which one to bet and which one to check, but we could probably bet the one, check back the king queen of hearts or something like that. But we've got our value hands, our bluffs, and eights, jacks. Those are sets, never mind. And yeah, this ratio is definitely off a little bit. We're just so value heavy that our opponent can probably exploit us. I don't know which hands make the best check back. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think? I'm going to obviously pick a few to check back. For simplicity, I may just grab the offsuit, like ace king or something, to grab like, 12 combos or whatever it is. And that'll be a little bit better because it blocks some straights and is really strong. But like I don't really want to face a raise with it. So maybe we'll just grab ace king and ace king offsuit. And we'll clear those out and put those in our strong check back range so that it's like not just those hands. And now we've got some top pair in our check back range as well. So that's probably closer to correct now that I look at it. That makes sense because we can't just have like one strong hand to balance out our entire checking range. That doesn't really work. Now we have 21 combos here and we still have our 39 combos here. This is our like 2 to 1 ratio. So and then we have our checking range. So As far as like what we're gonna check raise, I mean, we can probably check raise some of our draws and our kings, our sets of kings, but you know, I'm not sure if that's the best way to play it. Really quick, let's just add this up. Because really, I've talked about this, when you do this, you're really looking at your betting range. I mean, your checking range, you need to have some strong hands, but a lot of your checking range is going to be a check folding range, and you know, you just have to have a decent balance so that you've got some strong hands that you can play back with. But we have 40, 50, 60, 60 combinations here. Or 141 divided by, nope, clear, 60 divided by 141, which is 43, we'll call 43%. Okay, time's up, got it. We're gonna finish this up. All right, so we're betting 43% on this board right now, which I think is fine. Like, I think that this expectation to be like betting all the time in 3-bet pots, especially when we have a strong range, it makes it really easy for our opponent with a weak range to play if we just bet all the time, because he can just sort of, you know, fold all his crap and play back with his strong stuff. When we check, makes it a little harder, especially if we check a balanced range. So I think, you know, betting, you know, somewhere in here is probably close to optimal. Maybe betting a little bit more is better, but you know, this is also really tough. If we're only betting 43% of the time, we are going to get away with a lot of our bluffs. And just to give you an idea, we've got all these value hands here that we've got 15 combinations. That's funny. I ended up with 15 combinations on the last hand that I checked back strong. So 15 combinations of like strong hands, and some of those we can actually check raise. We don't need to be check raising a ton. So if we check raise our kings and check raise, like a queen 10 of clubs if we want, or there's probably some better, like maybe a 10-9 of clubs is better because that can get some, some decent hands to fold. Maybe a pair of jacks folds, although he should be checking that back. So, we can definitely raise some hands here on this board if we decide that that's correct. Again, I'm not as confident with which hands we should be check raising here, but we'll get to that in the future. Maybe I'll do the next one. I'll grab I'll watch some of Matthew Janda's videos and find a hand where he talks about which hands to check raise with, so I can have a little bit more guidance on it. So we're checking back. So 141 minus 60 is 81 hands. So checking back 81 combos. And 15 of those are strong that we can check raise. A bunch of them we can call with, and then a bunch will fold. So I think this is relatively balanced. We have 15 combos here, just that I've talked about that are like hands that we'll obviously call one street with. Let's clean this range up so we can look at it. I think it's gonna be okay. 10 of clubs, queen of clubs, ace of clubs, 10 of clubs. What am I missing? 10 through 9. No, 10 jack suited, queen jack suited. Not sure. Somebody sees the error. Queen jack suited, jack 10 suited. But yeah, that was it. It's like 10 jack suited. What's that? So we've got 22 combos that we're definitely going to either, we can potentially raise, we can call, and that doesn't even include, there's definitely some other hands in here that we can call with. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but Even just those 37 combinations. I mean, the fact that when we check, we can defend by raising a fair amount, and calling, a combination of those means that, this is going to be pretty tough he can't just like go ahead and bet every time we check. That's going to get expensive for him because we've got all these hands that we're checking back. All right, guys. Again, thank you for watching this series. Thank you for watching this video. I definitely can get through these probably in 25 minutes if I am not commentating, but when I'm commentating, I go off on tangents and stuff like that. So we are definitely getting faster. It's getting a little bit cleaner, and I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying the videos for those of you who are and who have commented and everything else. So again, guys, this is URounder, and until next time, keep on studying. And I definitely want to see your comments on this hand. Where do you think, I went through this really fast, so there's probably mistakes in here. Like, let me know what you guys found. All right, bye.